welcome back to my channel. Yes. My apologies for being a bit late. I'll and I forgot about this. Um, that's my excuse. I forgot. Um, Anyhow, let's just get straight to it. Let's not waffle too much. And yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I'll be honest here. I just saw Liverpool Community Shields. Volleyball. And I know it's a friendly. I don't care much about friendlies, and the Community Shield is a friendly as far as I'm concerned. Jesus Christ, they were diabolical. That's not debate here, though. But yeah, anyhow, let's just get started. Let me not waffle on too much. Let me open chats. Like to. Doesn't seem like a case right now. There we go. There we go. OBS loves me. No, apparently it doesn't. It's not showing my screen. There we go. Finally. So, after a bit of OBS troubles, we finally get the screen. So, I'm not gonna bother pulling out all the tactic boards and stuff like I usually do, because it's so friendly. And I don't really want to talk about like each player's individual performance, or oh we won 3-0, or oh we lost 3-0. Like, I know we didn't, but I don't really care, right? It's so friendly. I don't care about winning or losing these games because they lead to nothing. They lead to nothing. So what I care about with these games is the style of play, the players who are playing. And if I look at this game, Gonzalez played. Gonzalez started. O'Reilly played in midfield. Now, I'm not sure if that's great or not. A bit torn on that, but I'll come back to O'Reilly in a bit. Trafford began. Not Ederson, but Trafford. We saw Gusnov Stones. I'll get back to Stones, but Lewis as a right back. I mean, okay. Haaland, of course, is going to begin. Pop was able to play. Now, Foden is injured, of course. It's the game due to injury. Same with Rodri. Although Foden is not on here because his injury is rather minor, I believe. I'm not sure what the exact details are there. But anyhow, let's just start with the starting 11. I'll talk about Rodri at last, because I will talk about Rodri for a little bit. So let's just get started with the starting 11. So for Trafford, I mean, it's not much of a showing of his abilities, is it? You don't really get a chance to meet the player in this game. But I did think it's interesting that he started the game. Now it's 45 minutes each. Trafford 45 minutes and Ederson 45 minutes. But I think it's interesting that Trafford started with 80 and that Ederson started with the B team. Because if you look at substitutions in the second half, it was the old players, the B team coming on. Now I'm not sure if that's because it was supposed to be young players with young players and old with old. Because if you go position for position, actually, let me. If you go Ederson, is of course older than Trafford. Nunez is older than Lewis. Reinders is older than Gonzalez. Gundogan is older than O'Reilly. Silva older than Sierki. You could go through all of that, and for the most of that does hold true. But then you randomly have Stones, and Stones is a bit older. So I'm not sure what the pattern was, if it was supposed to be random. I'm not sure if Kusanov Stones is something that Pep wants us to see more. I don't. But for Trafford, not much of a showing. I think it's interesting that he started over Ederson, but at the end of the day, they both got 45 minutes, so it doesn't really tell you much. I'm gonna not say anything about Trafford until I see him play in the Premier League, like 3-4 games, at least. And his passing, this is the one thing I can say. His passing was good. He made long balls, accurate passes. During my watch along, I did comment on the ball. I believe in the first half, the long ball he played. I mean, in the first 10 minutes. Sorry, I mean it was all in the first half. But in the first 10 minutes, I commented on Trafford's long ball to Haaland, which he casted down very well, or well headed down, and then gave to Marmoush, if I'm remembering correctly. Details don't matter here. So, its passing is good for anyone who's saying, oh, but we need a shot-stopping goalkeeper. Maybe, but that doesn't need to be Ederson, right? Like, we need a distributing goalkeeper who can also stop shots, and that's not what Ederson is, I believe. So Trafford, yeah, sure, not the most interesting to talk about. 2, Liverpool lost. Skill issue in it. You're a fraud. Oh, Standard Liège beat Genk. That's surprising. Nothing really. He just said no comment. Hello, big up to Rosa. How are you? Antwerp had won a game once. Trafford, yeah, I'm not going to give him a rating. It's going to be difficult to give these players ratings. They all played 45 minutes. Big up to Adam as well. How are you? Anderson as a Brazilian, like I said, I know he looked a bit shaky, honestly, against Palermo. Anderson, you mean? Leuven red card. Good, what about you? I'm doing good as well, thank you for asking. I'm doing great, bro. Liverpool lost, Anderlecht lost, and City has fucking ballers. I'm doing great. So, I want to look at that back four. I see some people get worried about passing out from the back, right? Because, like, don't get me wrong, against Palermo, we played some beautiful combinations. I loved the way that Sherky and Bob were just floating around the pitch. And some people were seemingly worried. Some people were seemingly worried about passing out from the back, but think about it this way. This is how I think about it, at least. These players, none of these players, not a single one, has played more than 9 games for Man City in January. Not a single one of these. The most games any of these guys has played for Man City since January is 9 to sum of. That's the most. These players are not really embedded with the Man City Stones maybe, but these players are not really in the Man City operating system the way that maybe Guardiola Diaz are. Because the system keeps changing, right? So, is that an excuse? No, but for a friendly, I'm gonna be honest here, guys, I'm gonna be honest. For a friendly, where Palermo was very brave in their pressing, where we didn't concede any goal. I'm not that worried about forward passing from a back four, none of which have played more than 9 games for Man City since January. I'm not concerned, to be honest. So, yeah, passing was scrubby, but here's the thing, right? When you played starting 11, I don't reckon this will be the starting 11, which will probably be Ait Nouri and Joel Diaz, I guess, and then Nunez will be right back probably. When you play that, the passing is going to be a lot better. So when you play this makeshift back four, the passing is going to be poor. But I wasn't that worried, to be honest. Good weekend, isn't it? We need Baleba to break up the play. I must be the only person who doesn't rate this guy. Baleba is so overrated. He will step between the lines once and people will sing his praises, then he'll lose the ball 5 times. I'm the only man on planet Earth who doesn't rate him. I completely disagree. Baleba would offer this team nothing. He would offer nothing. If he played instead of O'Reilly, he would not do what O'Reilly does, which is crashing the box. He would not do that as effectively. If he played instead of Gonzalez, he would have not held onto the ball as well as Gonzalez would have. I don't think Baleba. In fact, I think Baleba is a setback on what we've already got. I think this guy is super overrated. I think so many players who play in weaker teams are so overrated because they play for teams with no pressure. And whenever they make mistakes, people don't talk about them. You put Baleba in a Man City shirt, and Baleba goes on and makes the mistakes he makes already. He's getting killed. He's getting killed for those mistakes. Which right now he's not. But if he does them for Man City, he's getting killed for that. So no, I disagree, to be honest. I think that what this team needs is Gonzalez to play more and to get used to that role and to just be trusted. And I think Gonzalez next to Reinders is going to be much, much better because it's going to offer a bit of fluidity there in who's going to move up, who's going to stay down. And it's going to add a bit of maturity, which Rico Lewis doesn't, also Bob doesn't. O'Reilly, almost the correct academy. Doesn't, Bob O'Reilly doesn't offer that same fluidity, I think, and he doesn't offer that maturity. Reinders, next to Nico Gonzalez, has me a lot more comfortable. I would not want to play Baleba over Nicky, to be honest. Over O'Reilly, maybe at the moment, but in 2 or 3 years from now, I don't think so. Next week, Wolves away prediction. I'll go 1-3. 1-3. Barcelona is playing a friendly. Baleba is a player of Brighton. He's a defensive midfielder, or holding midfielder, whatever you want to call it. Brighton. What are play numbers this season at Man City? I don't know. What are play numbers this season at Man City? You mean I'm sorry, I don't know what you mean by that. Anyhow, let's talk a bit about these two in particular. Guys. Cherki. I'll swear it down. This guy is special. I was hyping him up before the game. Someone told me about Cherki. I forgot who. I think it's Oliver, actually, told me about Cherki. And I was talking shit about Cherki. I was like, who's this random guy nobody's ever watched? Then I watched Cherki. And I watched him again. Cool. I can't stop watching this guy. He's so good. So silky with the ball. His touch is magnificent. Now, did he play perfect against Palermo? No. So nonchalant. Know what I mean? He's so nonchalant. He's so carefree on the ball. He just glides over the pitch. And he did make a few mistakes, but oh my god. This Cherki guy is just a proper talent. The way he and Bob just went over the pitch is... it was honestly beautiful to watch. I want to see Cherki and Bob and Cherki and Foden bouncing off each other all game. Mainly Cherki, yeah? He's just so good. And I'm very happy that Bob got the opportunity to actually play a game, even if it's just a friendly. Because Bob, again, looks great. I mean, this is the thing with Bob, right? He looks great every time he plays, then he gets injured. So... it's very frustrating, isn't it? The amount of injuries he gets. But hopefully, Bob, no more injuries, and he can actually play a few games next season, which I think he should, probably. If Bob can be playing, and Cherki can be playing, and Foden can be playing, and they can be rotating with each other, keeping each other fit, I think you've always got a very good threat there who can feed Haaland at most times. And meanwhile, Marmoush, who people say had a lesser game, he can still contribute, right? Marmoush is gonna have that left wing down to his personal property, I believe. Now, Marmouche, I don't think had a board game. I just think he was lazy, which I don't like, but I don't mind. Like, listen, it's a preseason friendly. Yeah, he was a bit lazy. I think his first touch was lazy. You know what I mean with a lazy first touch? It's like you're not really paying attention. The ball comes into you, and you're just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna control it, and then it's a baggy first touch because you're not concentrating. That's what I mean, right? I think he was playing lazy. I think it's mainly because he didn't care, which, again, not great, but if it's just a preseason friendly, I mean, some of these professionals just can't be bothered. If you mean the jersey numbers, they're literally right here. 21 Aitnouri, 45 Kusanov. The jersey numbers are literally right here. That's what you're wondering. Don't laugh too soon. Don't laugh too soon, I'd say to that. So, this three, I like the way they played, all three of them. And now you take the entire midfield 5, I guess. Yeah, Gonzalez. Again, Gonzalez made mistakes. O'Reilly made mistakes. But I feel like the way we played was... You know, Pep has a philosophy of space. He has a philosophy of space. I don't feel like the philosophy was space. I feel like there was a philosophy on tempo rather than on space, if you get what I mean. Because when we passed the ball, there was a rhythm to it. Every time we passed the ball, it was a rhythm. Gonzalez would get the ball, it was a rhythm. He got it to O'Reilly, O'Reilly got it to Marmouche, to Shetky, to Bob, to Gonzalez, to Shetky, to O'Reilly. A rhythm. Just a rhythm. And it wasn't to where the ball was going, but when. Just each time. Each time in the same rhythm. And I liked that. That was very offbeat, I know, but each time in that same rhythm, I liked that. Because I'm a bit bored of the spatial domination. I don't think we tried to dominate spaces. And, I mean, we did, because we're just that good, but we didn't specifically try to do that. Which I liked. And this is a new philosophy that it's clearly from Leendert, who's bringing this from Liverpool, that I think will take time to set into the team, of course, but it looks great. It looks great. That's what I'm happy to see. If we lost 3-0, I would not care, because it's a friendly. But what I saw is still that rhythm. It's still that different way of playing. You're playing on the ball, but you're not playing with the ball. You're not holding on to the ball, you're trying to do something with it, right? Pep Guardiola so often falls into the trap of you've got the ball, keep the ball, and you keep the ball, and you keep the ball, and you keep the ball to keep the ball, and you go nowhere. But I felt like in this game, we wanted to bring the ball somewhere, and if we couldn't, we would rather just lose it than to pass it around aimlessly, which I liked. And it's one moment, shit. It's one moment which I'm thinking about. It was a corner to Palermo. First half, I think 30 minutes. Was headed away by Man City. And the ball came down the left with Shetky. Shetky was running up the pitch. Haaland ran down the middle. Sprinted down the middle the way he used to do for Dortmund. He's never done that for City. Never done that for City. But he knew Shetky would pass the ball into him because it's not about space, it's about rhythm. Just runs down the middle. Runs down the middle and hopes he gets that ball. That is what people have been complaining about with Haaland, I think, for a while, that he doesn't run enough anymore. Look at that run. From his own box all the way to the halfway line, which is when we lost the ball, he just went in a straight sprint. And if these players can feed Haaland, you're going to see a lot more of that. Now, Haaland ended up scoring a very good goal. I can't remember who assisted it, actually. Who did assist that goal, Haaland? Lewis. It's Rico Lewis who assisted it. Very good goal. I mean, Lewis assist, but let's not do that here. Lewis didn't play too bad, but that doesn't change my opinion on Lewis. He's not good enough for Man City. not as a starting player, especially not as a right back. So for me, Lewis, yeah, he played okay, but this doesn't show me the level of Lewis. This doesn't show me the level of any player. This doesn't show me Stones' level. I know Stones is good. Half the fan base is wet right now thinking about Stones. Listen, I know Stones is good, but I know after 3 games he'll be injured and we'll be paying him 300k a week to do fuck all. So this doesn't change my opinion on any player, but it only shapes the way they're playing in this system, which I liked. Lewis, he's okay as a backup, but we can get a better starter than Lewis and have Nunez be the backup. To be honest, I'm not trying to be harsh on Lewis, yeah, but this game just shows to me that he's a midfielder stuck onto right back because that's what we have to do right now. I think Lewis is better in midfield. I think when you see him go very high up the pitch, or when you see him invert, it's way better and he's much more comfortable than when he's on that right-hand area of the pitch. And you saw that against Palermo too, when he walked through Palermo, sure. But now you put that in a Premier League setting, it's going to be more difficult to walk into the middle of the pitch. You're gonna have to cover more area. You're gonna be up against greater athletes, greater sprinters, greater stamina, who's gonna be able to run up and down the pitch. You're gonna be playing 60 minutes as opposed to 45. So when you count all of that into it, I do think that Lewis is still not a right back. And even not as an inverting right back, especially not when we have got Nuri on the other side. But I don't want to be too harsh on him. I liked his passing. I think we've always known that his passing was good. But for me, Lewis, for me, no player has really proven anything. Like Gonzalez, the only thing that, again, I want to talk about Gonzalez a bit more later, but Gonzalez didn't prove anything. I didn't learn anything about Gonzalez. What I learned is what the manager thinks about Gonzalez by playing him and what way he played him. The Unks weren't half bad yesterday, isn't it? When the Unks came on, the game was immediately a lot more slow, which I didn't like. Yeah, we scored 2 goals, by the way. Neither of them were assisted or scored by an uncle. But the game was a lot slower, which is not what I wanted to see. I wanted to see the first half, where it's tempo, tempo, tempo. And with the Unks, it felt like it was control. So okay, you have that control, fair enough. Weak possession, doesn't matter. But that's not the system I want to see. That was last year's system. And that was the system Unks brought with them. I don't think they were bad, because that'll just be quite ridiculous to say. But I don't think that means anything. What more so means something is the way they played. As I was about to get onto with Gonzalez here after I reached this comment. City needs Livramento, and we good for now till January. Until January. I think we're good until, we're not, but like, we're not gonna get Livramento. Might as well give up on that, but I think we've got what we've got. We'll be able to manage until the end of the, season. Is it perfect? No, but oh well. We're not gonna get Livramento. I've given up on that, to be honest. Big up to Rosa, by the way. Let me quick. Thank you, Rose. Thank you. So, Gonzalez. As I was talking about with the Unks a bit, and I was talking a bit before about Gonzalez. We don't know how good Gonzalez is from the game, but we know what Pep wants him to do from this. Because you look at how Gonzalez played this game, see what Pep wanted of him. Gonzalez was receiving the ball, going up the pitch, passing it. He had a lot better passing accuracy, by the way, which I was going to get onto earlier, and he's otherwise done. And there was one moment, and in my watch log, I actually got annoyed. And Nico Gonzalez was walking up the pitch, Haaland was in front of him. Was it Marmouche to his left? And he could have played in Haaland. He decided to pass the ball to the left with Marmouche. And that annoyed me when I first watched it. But then I watched it back and I thought, why? Nico Gonzalez will always play that ball forward. Why did he not play that ball forward? And I concluded in that moment, Pep Guardiola told him to stop passing forwards as much, and he just needs to get used to when he can and can't pass forwards. So, with Nico Gonzalez, I think he's supposed to take a more holding role. Defensively, we've not seen anything. I mean, check out his defensive stats. He's literally done one defensive action. We've not seen a lot of him. So, does that mean he's going to be playing as an 8? I'm not sure, but because, I mean, there was that talk about Pep coaching him about playing with his back to play. But what I do know is Pep's trying to get that creativity out of him. Not in a bad way, but like, not to get it out of him, but limit him. Tell him, don't always play the ball forwards. Go a bit more. Keep it in play a bit more. Get the ball to better creators. Let them create. And you can create as a last measure, right? And dig a bit deeper. Stay deeper a bit. That's what I saw from Gonzalez, in my opinion. Which, I mean, what does that tell us? It tells us Pep is trying to make Gonzalez play the way that Rodri is playing. Why? Because he wants Gonzalez to cover Rodri. That is what I think. That is what I think. I've got no sources on that other than conjecture. This is all my personal conjecture and analysis, if you didn't know. So, what did I gather from Gonzalez? A, starting, and B, playing the way he did, playing deeper, being made not to go forwards as much, being told to keep the ball in play a bit more. That told me that Pep does still value Gonzalez as a Rodri backup. Maybe. I don't want to give you more than a maybe. I'm gonna be very honest. But fingers crossed that my analysis is correct here and that Pep does value him as the Rodri backup. Now, I think he played okay. I mean, I will literally tell you the same thing about every player here. I think everyone played okay. Except for Haaland, because I've got to glaze Haaland. Haaland was amazing. He was the GOAT. He was a different gravy. Yeah, I think he played okay. O'Reilly. I'll talk about O'Reilly last, and then I'll go on to the substitute. O'Reilly played in midfield. And I said earlier that I was torn about this, and the reason why is because Reinders plays in the 8. Gonzalez, maybe the 8, maybe the 6. Gundogan, Kovacic, both still here, both play in the 8. That's a very congested area. Silva can play in the 8. So, my problem there is it's too many 8s. Now, O'Reilly, I don't mind him being the backup left back. Just like Foden was a right winger when he started before he could shift into midfield. You get on the wing, you come into midfield. With Foden's case, now, O'Reilly. I don't mind that. Mostly because we don't have a backup left back. And that's where I'm torn. I want to see him in midfield, because I want to see how good he is there. I think he looks brilliant whenever he crashes the box. But also, I think he should probably stick to the left back position for at least a season longer. And then he can shift into midfield. And we don't have a backup left back either. So, this is for squad reasons. Now, talking about our backup left back. Okay. Listen. nothing against Aki. You can go to one of my Blue Friday shows. I can't remember which one. But I have said that Aki is the best Man City left back ever. I have said that and I stand by that. Aki is our best ever left back. Period. And he's a better left back than he's a centre back. He's always injured. Like, this is the thing. I don't want Aki next season to be our backup left back because he's always injured. I know how good he is when he's fit, but he's injured. He's not fit. That's a problem. Same with Stones. Yeah, Stones plays great whenever he plays and all of this, but it's never fit. This is my problem with these players, and that's part of what I was saying with O'Reilly, that we don't have a backup left back. Because our backup left back will get injured in 5 seconds. With Nico, we have seen that he struggles to receive when he receives the ball with back to play. Sure, when he is not under pressure, he is fine. But the issue is when he has someone on his back. A 6 can't take many risks. They need to be able to keep the ball, and that's what I think we saw in this game. I think we saw Pep instructing him to stay deeper, which Rodri pushes up more, but when Rodri first joined, he was told to stay deeper. Rodri wasn't allowed to push up as much. Go back to when Rodri first came into Man City, right? And look at how deep he's. 8 go up, but not as much. Compare that to the treble C and the 4-beat C, and he was allowed to go up way more. But in his first few seasons, he was supposed to stay back a bit more. And I think Gonzalez was staying back a bit more, which is reminiscent of Rodri when he first came in. And he was trying to receive the ball with back to play where necessary. And we were trying to let him be that outlet, even if he was uncomfortable. Because the greatest way to make someone comfortable with something is put them in that situation. But they have to face that thing. So, I'm not saying that his issues are fixed. I'm not saying he's perfect, ready-made, and throw him in now. But I'm saying that... I'm not saying anything about his quality. All I'm saying is about the way Pep is trying to implement him. Which shows what Pep is trying to do with him, in my opinion, for the future. For the future, I think he is trying to make him a 6. I don't think Gonzalez will play as an 8 from this game. If he was going to play as an 8, he would have fed Haaland when he had the chance. Instead, he passed the ball to the left. Why did he pass to the left? Because he's probably been told, stay deeper, get the ball into the playmakers, don't make too many risky passes. That's probably why. And yeah, he'll need to adjust to that. Like, again, when he was at the edge of the area, could have fed Haaland easily. And he made the wrong decision. But that's something you have to learn through trial and errors. Like and subscribe. Big up to him. Do be liking and subscribing. So I agree with you. But I do think he will be a 6. I do think that Pep will be trying to make him a 6 at the very least. Good thing cover is out then. Gives Nico a chance to improve more. Well, I know what you mean. I know what you mean, but I just have to emphasize it's never a good thing when a player is injured. It's never a good thing when someone is hurt. I know what you mean, but yes, a blessing in disguise. I guess you mean. Yeah, we are agreeing. We are agreeing. We are agreeing, though. But if you want Nico to improve, which I think is what McMillan is coming at, he needs to play. He needs to play. There's only one way you make him comfortable with receiving the ball with back to play. There's only one way you do that. And that's by putting him in football games where he has to receive the ball with back to play. That's the only way you make him comfortable. He'll make mistakes, he'll lose balls, and all of that. True. That's the only way you make him comfortable with this style of play. If you do not want to wait, if you do not want to coach this player to reach that level, sell him loan him, whatever. Go buy someone who you can trust right now to do it. That is that is where I'm standing, yeah? I don't mind if Gonzalez leaves and you go buy someone who you think is ready-made. But if you don't want to go buy the ready-made option, then you best play the option that you have to make yourself and ignore the mistakes and just make sure they improve. That is my thing. That is my thing on that. He has to play if you want him to get better at that. Yeah, not injury-wise, just playing time. Obviously. None of us here will condone. The son of Ronald Koeman is the goalkeeper at Telstar. Oh, I didn't know that. Ronald Koeman's son is goalkeeping at Telstar, bruv. Lost the first game of the season. Ronald Koeman is gonna be pissed. Anyhow, I've talked about the starting 11. Let's talk about the bench. I'll talk about the Vine Mukasa first. I've got the least to say about the Vine Mukasa, so I'll talk about him first, right? I think that makes sense. Yeah. Wait for the ball. I don't really remember anything memorable he did other than the assist Rangers, which was more a brilliant Rangers goal than an assist on the part. I'm not saying that it wasn't a good do, but that was more Rangers' quality than it was his qualities. Divine Mukasa, yeah, I'm happy for him that he played. It shows that the manager wants to incorporate him, maybe. I mean, I said the same thing about Pedron last season. It shows there's a chance the manager will incorporate him. But the real question is he a Maximo Pedron or is he a Phil Foden, right? Is he gonna play? Next season, are we gonna see him play for the Man City? I don't know, because a lot of young players have been loaned out, and meanwhile, a lot of old players have stayed. I know he's academy, so you can get away with it a bit, but if you call him up for the first team, then you're gonna play him too, I think. So, with Mukasa, I just don't want to say it too early, but I want to see him play in the Premier League. I just want to see him play in the Premier League, whether on loan or for Man City. I want to see him in the Premier League. Savinho. I need to open paint.net for test. I need to open paint.net for test. Savinho. So, Savinho, if you are watching this, please pay attention. Why does this look? Can I make it look less bad? There you go. This is a goal, Savinho. This is a goal. This. Savinho. You put the ball inside of this, okay? You put the ball inside of this. Not here. Here. You got that, man. Because I swear down, yeah? The chance this guy got, I believe it was a Rangers ball, if I remember correctly. A beautiful ball played into him. And he fucking missed. Got it? This is where you want the ball to go. This is no. Yes. Okay? In fact, let me put it in letters. Let me put it in letters. Yes. No. Okay? Thank you, Savinho. Thank you. Your finishing, no offense, I don't care it's so friendly. Your finishing is fucking pathetic for a professional athlete. I'll be honest. A professional athlete, you should not be this bad at the fucking profession. championship players are better finishers. Think about that. Championship players are better finishers than a Man City winger. You can get a championship midfielder that will be a better finisher. I'm sorry, but this is pathetic. I don't care, it's a friendly. This fucking pissed me off. And I saw it, this fucking pissed me off. This Savinho guy, yeah? Any fucking chance he misses is gonna send me, bro. Swear down. Swear down. It's honestly more impressive that he's missing these chances at this point. It's honestly impressive. Fuck his assist, bro. Fuck his assist, bro. The amount of times he shoots the ball over the bar, yeah? Or wide, just one-on-one. Bro. It's fucking pathetic. Honest to God, it's pathetic. It really is. Yeah, he got a good assist. Maybe he'll get 10 assists in a season. You go buy Jared Bowen right now. He'll get you the same assists as Savinho. He'll give you better overall play. And he'll get you more goals. Go buy Jared Bowen, a West Ham player. And you've got Savinho 10 times better. 10 times better. It's shocking. It really is. Draw FC. We're back to the drawing board, aren't we? Akpom is go on loan to Ipswich Town with an option to buy. Okay. Savio played really well. No, he didn't. That one miss ruins everything he did. Because that's what he does every time he plays. Every time he plays, he does. He's pathetic. He's a pathetic finisher. I don't care how good he is on the ball, he's a pathetic finisher. Why didn't other players get those assists if it's that easy? Why didn't other players score when it's not that difficult? It's apparently so difficult to score these chances, but Savinho never scores, bro. Never scores. He's an attacker. The two things attackers have to do: score and get the ball forward. So yeah, he gets a few assists. But he's fucking shit. Because next season, yes it does. Yes it does. Think about it. Yeah, he's cooking some random Serie B players. Oh, he cooks Serie B players. Still misses. Now put him in the Premier League. First of all, you're not gonna cook as hard. Second of all, you're still gonna miss. And no. Jared Bowen can create like him. Jared Bowen can create like him, and better, and can finish, and can keep the ball better, and can pass better. It's more versatile, can go into midfield better. Savinho is genuinely shit, bro. Bro, that miss just... it's all over again with Savinho. That's what we're gonna see all over again next season. He's genuinely shocking. It's one of the most shocking plays I've ever seen for Man City. The amount of chances he misses every time, it's shocking. It's jarring. It really is. I want to see some XG stats on this. I want to see some XG stats on this. Savio stats. Let's see how much he underperforms his last season. That's Champions League, Premier League. I mean, 4.3 for a bench player. Yeah, he can go back to La Liga 10. He can go back to La Liga 10. What is a Hank? I don't know. They lost, right? It is BS what you're doing. What's BS is that we're supporting this guy who can't shoot for fuck all. I'm sorry, this guy is 21 years old and he's underperforming as XG by 4.3. Not young. Not tackle. I mean, that is ridiculous amounts of underperforming. He doesn't even shoot a ball from range sometimes. He was clearly a lot better in La Liga. He can go better than to La Liga 10. Woeful. Yeah, I'm sorry, he's woeful. If he's playing next season, missing all those chances again, nah. Let's not do this. He was one of the most creative players in the league, and on the side, on the wing, let's not do this. I will do this. It's not enough. It's not enough for Man City. I'm sorry, this is Man City. I'm saying Cherky over here creates like Savinho can, but actually finishes as well. Is very comfortable with the ball in midfield. Rarely loses it. He will lose it sometimes, but rarely loses it. But again, can finish. I'd rather just get Jared Bowen. I will do this. If his finishing doesn't improve, he needs to jog on. I mean, it's disparaging. Like, the amount of times we saw that last season, yeah? And in this season, in a friendly, against Palermo, he again lost his nerve the moment he got in front of goal. I will do it, it's disparaging. Cherky should have 4 goals by now. Shall we compare for Cherky? Shall we compare for Cherky? Cherky. Let's open Savio. Oh. Let's open Savio's stats again. So Savio underperformed his XG by 4.3. And Cherky overperformed his XG. So Cherky overperforms his XG. Savio underperforms. Savio underperforms. Cherky overperforms. And the Club World Cup, I mean, it's really not go off. But again, he overperformed. So, I mean, if you underperform your XG like Yamal, underperform your XG to Yamal, because let's compare to Lamine Yamal, right? Because he underperforms his XG quite significantly as well. But it's a difference, right? Yeah, he is quite a significant underperformance. There's the difference. He got 9 goals. How many did Savio get? He got 1. That's a massive difference. If you are doing this, Cherky missed 3 1-on-1s already in this club. Sure. Sure. And Savio would have missed all 3 of them too. Cherky at least got other goals. I'm not sure what your point is with that. Savio would have missed all 3 of those and missed more chances that Cherky would score. Savio's finishing is woeful. I don't get to pretending like it's not a major problem. I mean, you remember how this fan base used to get on Raheem Sterling's ass about this? Raheem Sterling's stats. I'm not sure about what Raheem Sterling's stats are. XG stats. 2021. Let's go at 2020. Because in 2021 it was pretty woeful, right? Let's see specifically. Oh, that's gonna be very difficult to find, isn't it? Oh, there you go. 2021. Raheem Sterling. Plus, I'm guessing under XG by this month. He got 10 goals, 12 XG. So Raheem Sterling got 10 goals, also underperformed his XG, but less, and was absolutely howled at by Man City fans for this. So that's Savio. I'm saying, no, I'm keeping the same energy. You are not. You are not keeping the same energy. I am. Because here's the thing. If we're keeping the same energy, this is Savio, minus 4.3, this is Cherky, plus 2.1. You're comparing apples to oranges. Effectively, you're comparing apples to oranges. If you are going to dismiss anything, Savio did in our game because of one miss, no. That's not what I said. I said I'm gonna dismiss anything Savio did because he will always miss those chances because he's terrible thing. And that's not good. I'm fucking tired of it. Fucking tired of his woeful finishing that a championship player can do better at. Championship player will score more chances than Savio. That's not an opinion, that's just a fact of this. That's what I said. So you can try to compare that with Shetki overperformed his XP, but that's not the same thing, is it? That's not the same thing. You're comparing apples to oranges. Like you could compare to Yamal, but Yamal gets 9 goals and Shetki gets 8 goals and Savio gets. And we compared to Raheem Sterling because the reason why I was comparing to Sterling is because when Sterling underperformed his XG and he was scoring 10 goals in a season, and City fans were on his case about it. I always said he was a great finisher but inconsistent. Sterling, sure. I keep the same energy. I'm giving props to both for what they did right. What Savio does right is not enough to outweigh his tremendous finishing and attacking play. Created more chances than he misses. That's true. That's all. Oh, maybe an expensive. So in Premier League he got 8 assists. And can I see big chances created some? I'm gonna have to do this elsewhere. Savio big chances. Or yeah, big chances created. 24, 20. 13 big chances created. Yeah. Okay, bro. 23. Let's try that again. 24, 25. Oh. Let's try that again with 25. 4, 25. In 24, 25, he created how many big chances? 11. 11. And he missed 6. Way to go. So sure, he created a bit more. Shetki overperformed his XG because he didn't take the shots in high value chances. Yeah, but he got 8 times as many. Sterling, yes. Actually is. XG versus XGA. I don't know where I can see XGA because I'm trying to look for it. Can't. But when you're not scoring any chances, when you can't finish, but fuck all, because you can't finish in a bottle. When you can't finish anything, you are so easy to mark out of a game. Like tactically, yeah. If I'm a manager and I know Savio's gonna miss any one-on-one, you know what I do? I stop marking him. I just mark someone else. I mean, it's honestly almost that easy. You just don't mark him. You mark someone who can score, which is a big problem we had last season, where we kept saying Haaland marked because he was out only goal scorer. You can't score as an attacker. You're worthless. Any attacker that can not score for the life of him will tactically just taken out of the game by any Australian. Where he should have taken the chances. Whitmore probably has it, but Savio's XA is about 8 and his XG is about 5. Sure. Sure. So crossing a lot of balls to Haaland, fair. Yet he can cross in those balls and still get better output. I mean better finishing. That's not good enough. It really isn't. And again, Haaland's last season was triple marked in the box. He was triple marked, quadruple marked. Can't go anywhere. How can you tactically stop what he did versus Arsenal and West Ham? Very easy. Don't let him go through unmarked on the Arsenal defending was diabolical at counter, and West Ham, I can't really remember. Um, that game, where he crossed it to Haaland on the hard post and added. He did that a few times, but I think he did that with West Ham. But you make sure that you don't do that. Again, it's about probability. Probability is Savio, you're going to just walk out of the game very. Because okay, you can close in one good ball once in a while, but you're not. This is why Savio should be a bench player. No, not at Man City. He can be a bench player at Giron. At City. I want my bench player to come off the bench and score. And that is honestly where I'm at. I want my bench player to come off the bench and score a goal. Adriano Bertoscini is better. Gareth Bowen is better than him. Eze is better than him. Like, without much thought, I've got 3 players who I'd rather have on a Man City bench. Players who can actually score and assist and contribute goals. Okay? Everything Savio does is all well and fine. Not enough. A ball from keep it in the middle of 4 players. Okay, sure. Great. I've seen Jared Bowen do stuff like that, but I've also seen him. Not enough, is it? Bowen is much better than him. Let's not have. Bowen is much better than Savio. Let's not have that hard. Come on. All I need to do is show some support. This is with West Ham. He's scoring consistently. I mean, except for the game you see. He's very good scoring wise. Assisting wise, he's also getting assists. Playing at a worse team. He's a great versatile player. Can play anywhere and that. He's very comfortable on the ball as well. Jared Bowen is much better than Savio. Savio does that consistently. Also getting 8 assists. And 1 goal. Bowen is a better finisher, but counts to half of the creative numbers. Well, that's factually wrong. For assists, he got the same amount of assists as Savio and 13 times the goal. And he plays at a worse team. Significant worse. What are we doing here? Saying the truth, an attacker who can't score is not good enough. Getting the ball into Haaland in a great chance to score. What you? Well, if Jared Bowen played with Haaland, he'd probably have assists. If Jared Bowen played with Haaland, he'd probably have quite a few more. Big up AK, how are you? How are you? It's not an agenda. Savio is shit. That's not an agenda. The entire Premier League laughs at him. You go ask an Arsenal fan about Savio, they'll laugh at you. You go ask a Liverpool fan, they'll laugh. That's the truth. Needs to turn good next season. Doku, same story. He needs to turn good. Hope you're all well. I'm seasick. Big up, get well soon, Liam. Or he wouldn't be doing it. Bowen is literally doing it with work. Like, Savio got 8 assists, Bowen got 8 assists, 13 times the goal. first team without Erling Haaland. So that's just the numbers. If you look at the eye test, Bowen is very comfortable. It's very versatile, can play up top, can play on the right, can play on the left. So, when we compare these two players, Savio does isn't enough. Bob over Savio? Yeah, my opinion, definitely. Bob should start next week. Well, I'm thinking right now, who would we start? Who would we start? Because, I mean, let's start with defense, right? You'll have Nurik, Vardiol, Diaz, probably no argument about that. So, midfield is where I'm curious what Pep will do. I'm reckoning Reinders and Silva will. So if Reinders and Silva are in midfield, I think you might have Shetki actually. And then you might have Gonzalez, and then you might have Marmoush and Haaland, to be honest. But I'd like him to start. You know that playing for West Ham is completely different to playing. Yeah, of course, but well, of course it's way different. But Bowen is a Premier League player. Playing in the Premier League is different from playing in La Liga. You brought up his A in La Liga, which is a. I mean, if you want to say it's completely different, sure. But again, Bowen is getting that type of output with Bird's strikers, with Bird's teammates, been doing it consistently for seasons on end. And that's a mid-table player. That's a mid-table player. I want a substitute who can score a goal. You can't score as an attacker, you're not attacking. Completely different. Yeah, absolutely. You can compare Girona Savio to Bowen. While Bowen was still doing more. Girona Savio played. That Girona team was better. What did you think about yesterday's standouts? Standout was, I mean, Shetki Bob. Just obvious ones. Haaland and Reinders. That's the obvious ones. I mean, Stones doesn't really stand out when you already know he's gonna do that. I think what stood out to me is that O'Reilly played in midfield. Second half was a bit boring, to be honest. Not bad, but boring. So, Mikasa didn't really stand out to me. Didn't have much time to do much of anything, really. Bob should start every game. Probably no player should be starting game. Because the spaces are way smaller. Sure, in La Liga they would be. In the Premier League, you're still gonna have that issue a little bit. If you're playing in the Premier League, you'll still have that issue. The way West Ham attack is more similar to the way Girona does. Yeah, but the way teams defended against Girona is the way La Liga teams play, not the way Premier League. Premier League, you face a lot more blocks. That's what Bowen faces a lot more when he gets this output. Husanov was good in my opinion. Stopped a few Yeah, Husanov was good. Well, I think Husanov was very solid. I mean, I think Husanov should be playing next to Guardiola. I know that Diaz will play and serve this. I want Husanov to be playing as well. Mukasa was played out of position to play. He's 8 out of 10 and was being played as a. It's an 8 or a 10 and was being played as a false 9. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I don't think there's much to say about him. You didn't get a chance to see. Yeah. Goku was bored again as well. I think Goku was running around like a headless chicken as he was. But other than that, I mean, I've talked about everything every time. No, I haven't. I lied. I have forgotten to talk about one thing. Goldry. There. There. Guys, I have bad news. Those who are still unaware. Goldry is injured. Again. So, I'm a bit late on this news, I'm aware. But, here's my thing. We need to be comfortable to play without Goldry. We need to be comfortable to play against Arsenal without Goldry. If we cannot play against Arsenal without Goldry, we will be playing the rest of the season without Goldry. I swear it down. We cannot keep rushing this guy back. We just need to say, Nico Gonzalez, don't know if you're good enough, now's your chance to show us. That's what we need to do. If you don't think he's good enough, sell him and buy a 6. Whether it's Baleba, who I don't rate, I'm apparently the only. I mean, I'd rate him, but not at Man City level. Go buy a 6 wherever you think they are that's ready made, and go plug them in. Or, if you're gonna keep Gonzalez, just throw him in there and say, now you play. Or if you think he's an 8 instead of a 6, you can put Reinders in the 6 and put Gonzalez in the 8. Multiple solutions, right? Multiple solutions. Goldry. The way Goldry's been managed has really frustrated me. If you don't know, I have a video on this channel. It's back when I made videos. It's my 3rd most watched video of all time, I believe, that I predicted that Goldry would be injured pretty much all season next year, and I gave my reasons. And I pretty much predicted Goldry's injury. And before last season, I've been saying constantly, if you're not ready to play, but without Goldry for the first few games, we're gonna play without Goldry. I'm gonna echo that same sentiment. If we are not ready to play without Goldry, we will play without Goldry. We have to be ready to say, Nico Gonzalez, you play this game. We have to be ready to say, Goldry, you should not play this game because you're not fit enough. If we cannot do that, we're gonna be missing Goldry a lot. We need to manage this guy's health. It frustrated me a lot the way we've managed his health. And it's clearly down to Pep. And I know people will say, oh, it's not Pep. It is Pep. The doctor said no more than 60 minutes in 7 days. 2 games in 7 days, 30 minutes each game. He played 120 minutes. Pep said in the pre-match, in the match conference, whatever you call it, the pre-match conference for Al Hilal. Pep said, Goldry can only play 30 minutes. Pep played him 60 minutes. This is diabolical, the way we've managed him. Or the way Pep's managed him, I say. Where he makes a deal with Goldry, you play 45 minutes, then come off, and then he keeps him on anyhow after the 45 minutes. Goldry took an ACL injury. It's not a joke. It's not a little knock. He took an ACL injury at 28 years old. Now 29, he's nearing that magical age of 30 where your body turns to shit. We cannot keep managing this guy's health this way. If we continue to manage Goldry's health situation the way we have been, honest to God, call up this. If we cannot get used to playing without him, there's nothing I can say to that. So, as for the way we've managed Goldry, I mean, this friendly has been mostly positive. Let's say it that way, right? Style of play has been lovely, the combinations have been lovely, most players have looked okay. Again, some players you can't really get insights for. Savio is a pathetic finisher, but that we already knew. So most of this friendly is positive for me. But I'll come back to this in a moment. But none of this means anything if this all goes out of the door whenever we get into our actual game in the Premier League. When we get to the Premier League, we need to maintain these. This can't just be all thrown out of the door. So I've seen positives. I've been happy today. Because Liverpool, fucking shit. But you need to kick on next season with it. So, to answer this and then round up. Will Nico G get a chance? Here is my reason why I think so, but this is conjecture. Keep that in mind, this is conjecture, but this is my reason why I believe so. So, Pep Guardiola played Nico Gonzalez deeper. Didn't allow him to go up too much, which is very reminiscent of how Rodri played in his first 2 seasons. 21, 22 and 22. You get the point. I can't count, that's the point. But that's very reminiscent of how Rodri played until the treble season. Now, he also told him not to pass forwards too much. Again, reminiscent of how Rodri played then. How do I know that? Nico Gonzalez likes playing through balls. He had a prime opportunity to play a ball into Haaland at the edge of the area, which he always would do, but he decided to pass sideways to Marmoush. That is clearly instructed by the coach. Now, it's the wrong decision, but it's something he needs to get used to. Clearly instructed by the coach. So, that tells you nothing about the quality. It tells you nothing about the quality. But what it does tell you is what the manager is telling this player to do. The manager is telling this player to do these things that you would expect of a Rodri backup, a Rodri placement, if we're being brave here about the future. That is why I think he'll get chances. But it is my final take on Gonzalez. Nico Gonzalez. If you want him to get good, you need him to play. Need him to make mistakes on that pitch. If you want the ready-made thing, I'm fine with that. Go sell Gonzalez, go buy your ready-made plate. I'm fine with that. If you're not gonna do that, then you best fucking play Nico Gonzalez and suck up his mistakes that he's gonna make. That is where I'm at. So will Pep do that? I personally believe so, but honestly, I'm gonna be honest, that's all conjecture. I've got no good reason to believe that. That's just what I think. So that's me being very honest. Anyhow, we'll leave it there. Alfred, guys, because I'll see that not in my lifetime. It's live for once in a while. Not in my lifetime. Hey, I'm funny, guys. I'm funny. I'll see you guys on the next one.